What's going on, folks? It's KspadeTheProspect. Folks, I'm making this quick video for you guys so I can talk about the community team-up event that NBA 2K just hosted for NBA 2K15. I want to talk about some of the things I saw and some of the things I feel. For the most part, NBA 2K has been a franchise that year after year has taken a few steps forward. I don't think it's ever been a case where I've had an NBA 2K, gotten a new one and go, wow, this one really sucks in comparison to the last one. It might be some elements of it that you don't like, but for the most part, they seem to always tighten things up and take a step forward. We could debate that on NBA 2K12, but that's not what this video is about. Let's move forward. Same thing remains true this year. NBA 2K14 in some ways took big steps forward from 13. In some ways it didn't. From what I've seen, which was very limited time on the game, NBA 2K15 looks amazing. A lot of areas have been addressed, and for the first time in a really long time, I'm seeing a company make strides to try to satisfy multiple types of gamers, because regardless of what the game is, it's going to be a group of gamers that like it. In this case, you got your hardcore hoops fans, you got your casual fans, you got the sim guys, and of course you got the arcade guys that just really want to win. And 2K seems to be trying to do something that will please each of these people. Now I know what you guys are thinking, why would they please the arcade people? Well, to me, in my own opinion, park mode is a very arcade mode in my opinion, and it's been advancements to that mode. I don't think I can talk on that here. We'll get into that in the future, but let me get into like a main overview. First of all, the community team up event was nice. It was really nice getting a chance to meet these guys. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care what you think you know from your gaming setup in your house. When you're there and you meet these devs and you get a chance to hear these guys talk about how passionately they're working on the product, it really gives you, I don't know, like a sense of pride to see that these guys are really working hard. Now, I'm not there on a daily basis. I don't know, I can't sit here and attest to how hard they're working, but I know in talking to them, I usually do a pretty good job of smelling BS. And I just get the feeling that these guys really want this product to be amazing. And as a consumer, that's a great thing. Let's jump right in. The first thing that I want to talk about is the efforts that 2K has put out to try to minimize exploits. I say minimize because you can never completely stop exploits, but they are making strides to minimize them. Do I agree with all their strides? Not necessarily. First thing they did was they nerfed your ability to take a charge. I understand why that's necessary. Anybody who's ever played my team, I'm sure you see it in every mode, but I used to see it way back in the day in the crew, in NBA 2K11 and 10, and you see it a lot in my team. People really abuse taking a charge. So what they did was, it's almost like a computer AI. It's nothing that you physically do. Your player, if somebody's taking a charge, if they're trying to take the charge, your player will try to maneuver around it on their own. They're not always successful, but you're going to get away. You're going to get out of a lot of would-be charge situations. I think I'm okay with this one because I've seen people just abuse the crap out of that. I think I'm all right with that one. Another effort they made to minimize exploits was removing the 1-3-1 zone in its entirety, like it's not even in the game. They said that they did some research. They spoke with multiple people from the NBA, coaches and whatnot. They searched some data and they came to the conclusion that nobody in the NBA is running the 1-3-1 zone. I'm all right with that, but I'm kind of not, because I honestly feel like the issue wasn't the 1-3-1 zone. The issue was the player speed. Like the whole idea was that people were able to make up for too much ground, and that's what made the 1-3-1 overpower. It wasn't the zone itself, it was the player speed. So my question is the player speed addressed? Because if not, the people are just going to be making up incredible amounts of ground in the 2-3 and the 3-2. Only time will tell. So we'll need this entire year basically to see if that indeed did fix the problem. We'll see. The thing that kind of wasn't addressed, and that's not fair for me to say. Let me go back. The thing that I'm not really satisfied with the level of address to it is defensive on ball ability. And I say that because when you play my team or whatever, people always go, these guys are playing off-ball defense. And all through NBA 2K14, I defended those guys because I said that it was next to impossible to play on-ball defense. The offensive player was given such an advantage on change of direction. And from what I can tell in playing NBA 2K15, which once again, let me say, this is very limited time. But from what I can tell, that it still didn't feel right to me. It just felt sluggish. The offensive player has a huge advantage on change of direction. And as a defensive player, it's if you can kind of get them in a pattern where they try to go left, they get stuck, then you know they're going to try to go right. If you can get in their head and know their pattern, you can be there. But if you're playing somebody that's really good with the dribble moves, and man, it's tough. It's extremely tough. And playing defense is tough in real life, but I think this is just something from a video game perspective that's going to be really hard to address. So if you guys were hoping that you're going to be able to play lockdown on-ball defense this year, I don't think you're getting what you was hoping for. That's just my opinion. All right, so let's move to the next thing. When you talk about gameplay, one thing everybody really wanted to know was shooting. And I've been a huge component of this. You guys know my style in this game is to take shots. I don't attack the basket like most people do. Most people that play 2K, they either want the three or they want to dunk. That's how most people play. But that's not me. I would gladly take a mid-range. You guys know my mid-range is money. So the shot meter for me was a big deal. I have always said I did not like working for a good shot, being wide open, taking a shot, timing it perfectly, having a great quality of shot and miss it. I understood that 2K was trying to tell me, Spade, basically you can't make everything, so sometimes we're gonna make you miss it. I was all right with that, but I always told them that it felt like playing slots in the casinos. If you pull the lever and it lands on make shot, you make shot. If it lands on miss shot, you miss shot. Well, from a gamer's perspective, I never liked that because that made me wonder how much of me making shots is me and how much of it is the game. Well, this year, this new shot meter, I love it. Some people won't. Hey, I love it. So essentially, here's the deal. If you can get a good look and you can time it right, you can make it a lot. I wish I could give you guys a percentage, but I can't. You can make it a lot. Some people are sitting at home going, wait a minute, I don't know if this is a good thing. Maybe people will shoot unrealistic numbers. Well, what happens is everything in the game affects how easy or how difficult it'll be for you to time that shot right. If you're contested, then maybe the shot meter moves faster or slower. If you're fatigued, it moves at a different speed. And your window for error moves. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but in perfect conditions, you got a window maybe 2 inches long. Maybe when you're fatigued, you're guarded, you're fading away, you're shooting and move. You know, while you're moving, you're not set. All of this affects the size of the window that you have to time it correctly, and in some cases, even the speed of the cursor that moves up and down. So instead of you timing it right and missing the shots, these different events, these different situations are gonna make it more difficult for you to time it right. But if you take a good shot, you time it right, you're gonna be rewarded with making the shot a lot. And for me, and I feel like other shooters that play this game, I like it. I actually love it, to be honest with you. Animations is another big thing that we got to talk about. Well, the NBA 2K crew has added 6,000 animations in a year. I mean, think about that. It's not 6,000 total. They have added 6,000 to however many they already had. Now, if you're like me, you're wondering, is this good? Is it bad? Sometimes a game can be too animation heavy. Is that the case? Well, I can say in my small time playing, I didn't feel like it was too animation heavy. I really didn't. The net physics seem to be different. It seems more realistic. The shots, the way the nets look, I assume that's an animation. So some of these things aren't necessarily player animations. It seems to be other things going around. The crowd, for instance, is very interactive. And I don't mean just uproaring for 4 quarters, because that's not realistic. But they seem to be kind of tuned into what's going on in the game. Let me give you an example. You guys know I'm a Miami fan. I was playing with the Heat and I was playing against the Cavs because I wanted to get LeBron back for leaving Miami, right? And I was losing to the Cavs for 3.5 quarters. And I was playing in Cleveland. But toward the end of the game, I drained a big-time rainmaker with Mario Chalmers over LeBron, which I thought was funny. And you know, the intensity of the game changed. It's late in the game. I had like a 1-point lead and the entire arena was standing up for like the remainder of the game. They wanted to see if their Cavs could win. They didn't. They got that work, and that'll teach LeBron to never leave Miami again. But you see what I'm saying? So some of the animations are not player related. It's other things going on, but definitely I felt like the animations look good. I got to give you guys the good and the bad. I'm trying to keep it small. This is just an overview. It was so much that I saw, but so much to take in. I'm gonna have to bring you guys multiple videos. I can't possibly get it all out in one sitting. I know as soon as I stop the recorder, I'm gonna think of more things to say. I'm not really the write notes guy. I kind of keep everything in my head. But another thing I want to talk about, I was specifically looking for things that I didn't like in 2K14. And one of the things, it was two things that I saw that I wasn't crazy about. I did see a double jump situation. I didn't see it often. To be honest with you, I only saw it once. So one could assume it's better. At the same time, I really never want to see a double jump. Never. Because unless you get lucky and you blocking on that second jump, then it's going to have you out of the loop for defensive rotation, or even if the shot is missed and your offense is running. You don't ever want to see that. And another situation I had where I was doing one of my spin dribble animations and I had a collision and I lost the dribble. And I actually called LD over and I was talking to him about it. We kind of had a debate about it because he felt like that was the right outcome because I did it in the wrong situation, in his opinion. I kind of disagreed, but I guess the point is, if you're gonna spin into people, I guess I'm okay with it being a collision. I didn't see it often, so I can't say. And that's the bad thing about having the game for such a limited amount of time. You don't know how much of this stuff is random. You don't know how much of this stuff you're gonna see a lot, but I did see that. Another thing toward the way of animations that I saw that I did like, and we actually spoke on, was injuries. If you played NBA 2K14, especially if you played my career, you know any shot that went up was dangerous because guys would take shots, they would land awkwardly, and they would hurt their knee or their ankles all the time. I think at least 3 of my teammates in my career had that injury. Well, we talked with Leftos, who is a funny guy, by the way. Leftos is a G. I don't know if you guys know that, but we spoke on the fact that now it's like crap tons of parts of your body that can be injured. You can have durability ratings for multiple parts of your body. Don't get freaky with that, y'all. We talking knees, elbows, neck, head, that kind of stuff. So we was actually all just in there gaming, and somebody was like, wait, everybody turn around and look at this. And we saw a guy fall to the court, and he kind of whiplashed back and banged his head on the court. He was holding his head. He was rolling around in pain. We was like, oh, that's dope. But then I got to be honest, like 2 games after that, I was playing against John on my little setup, and somebody in my game fell to the court, whiplash, banged their head on the court. So seeing it that second time, it went from, oh, that's dope, to, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know if it should be happening this frequently. Then again, this could be 2 times out of a million, but I only got a chance to play that game for that limited amount of time, so I don't know how rare it'll be. But in my time there, I saw 2 people bang their head on the court. I don't know how frequently you should be banging your head on the court. So a lot of new animations, a lot of good things, a lot of things I'm not sure about. I don't want to come back and give you guys any false impressions or false hopes. That's not what I'm about. I always try to give you guys the real. And just to be honest, in the small time I saw it, I saw enough to say this game is going to be great. It's definitely going to be a step forward. But at the same time, I saw enough to realize that we're still not dealing with a perfect game here, which any realist wasn't expecting a perfect game anyway, but I feel like it should be said. It's so easy to go and have this experience and come back and go, all right, I checked it out, guys. All is well. Everything's perfect. But realistically, it's not. So that's all I got for this video, folks. I hope I wasn't too much all over the place. I'm going to bring you guys more content. And that's all I got for now. Stay tuned. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at KspadeTheProspect. If you're not already subscribed, pimp slap that subscribe button. I'm gonna be dropping videos left and right. It's gonna be crazy. But that's all I got for this one, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out the next time, y'all. Peace.